In another video, I showed how to use the Oberon thumbnailer step by step in order to bring in your clip art pieces to create a design book. I'm going to show that same video here, but since it was 17 minutes, I'm speeding it up 25 times faster just to show in the background kind of how that works out, that you can bring in your clip art, you can add borders, you can add in text, copyright information, you could even add in page numbers and all of that sort of stuff really quickly and easily. I'm also going to show that you can bring in full design layouts, and now I'll slow it down and go from there. So now that we've got our design pages all laid out, I wanted to show what we could then do to add to it using MemorialDESIGNER. I went ahead and created a new page, or a new set of full designs here, so I'll get back to them. But to show you some different things that you can do, let's say we wanted to make this look a little bit nicer. We could take a couple of these and offset those to the left and offset that one to the right a little bit. We could take this text and maybe move it into the blank area here, so we could do that for each of those. And instead of just having the design number, we could type in maybe design and then have that number and do color, and then we'll say what color it is, and then we'll also say maybe give it whatever the size is and go from there. We'll switch to left justified instead of right justified. Maybe make that text a little bit larger. So we could go through for each of these and do that. Because they're coming in as CorelDRAW files, it's really easy to color them. So I can grab one of these and throw in a color there. Let's go with a different color for this one and a different color for this one. So now that we've got our colors, I could go in and type in tropical green and go from there. So I would redo that for each of those. Areas like this that are meant for photos, super easy. We'll just import a photograph and put that onto our page here. And once we've got that, we can right click and drag and drop it into that container, and then we can fill it proportionately. So now if I zoom in, you'll see that the picture is already there, so we can show what it would look like with a ceramic in there. So very quickly and easily we can make a nice full color brochure book here. And just going through the different pages, I'm going to see if there's anything else that stands out. So this one, if I were to fill this in with, let's say, Bahama Blue, because we've got a polished margin, the polish on top of the polish I think shows up a little bit better if we make it stand out a little bit more. So you can easily take a rectangle and drag from here to there, fill it in with black, and then apply a transparency to that. That way you've got a little bit of shading there, which makes it stand out from the rest. And you can do the same thing here for the vase as well. I mean, it doesn't matter too much because the vase is on top of a frosted area there. But if we wanted to show a little bit of depth, then we can do the same thing and just edit this to show a little bit of shading there. So you can go through and mess with all of your different files and add in shading and add in photographs and all sorts of different stuff to make it look a little bit nicer. On this particular page, it only had 2 of them, and one is vertical, so we could move this one down and take this one and just make it a bit larger. And because we are, like I said, still using those CorelDRAW files, or the vector files, all of this is still editable, and we can mess with it. So I think it's really neat to be able to do that. I'll throw in a single photo here, even though there's 2 people. I can show you how you can bring in just a single picture, and I'll throw that one on here as well. we'll go ahead and fit that. She's actually, looks like she's got some blueberries or something, so I may not want to show that. We can go in and edit that. Easy enough, just bring it down, and that way we're just showing the bust. And once again, we can just click on that, choose any color we want, and it'll fill in the color for us. And we'll do the same thing for this one. We'll go ahead and do mahogany. So there we go. Quick and easy. We can set up a design book and have it printable or export it out to a PDF so that people can view it online or however you want to do it. Another thing that we could do is if we wanted our designs to pop just a little bit more off the page, is we could select them and add a drop shadow. So I just come over to the drop shadow tool, and under presets you can choose different presets. I've actually got presets for design books, so I can click on my design book preset and that'll drop that in for me. It's editable as it's a preset, but so if I wanted it to be a little bit different, I could just come up here and hit the plus sign and then save that as a new preset for me. But each of the different things, if I were to go back to another page, I could grab all three of those at the same time and go back and give it my preset for drop shadow, and it adds all those shadows in at the same time. Even if I wanted to have them done before I fill in with my different colors, I can do that as well, which is really neat. So another thing that we can do is we could actually bring in and create a divider maybe for each of our different sections. So if I went back to the first page and added a new page in front of that, then I can come and grab one of my 3D shapes. So I'll just grab that and copy it and paste it here. And I will go ahead and take one of these designs, let's just say this one. So I will ungroup that, copy it, and then we'll paste it here. Okay, so I can take this piece, make it nice and large. So now that we've pasted our image from the other page, this one has text that's been fit to the path, so I'll have to take that and convert that to curves really quick. But once we've got that all done, we can grab that and group it and then do what's called add perspective. So we just say add perspective, and then we grab each of the four corners and align those to the four corners of this particular piece. This is also a useful tool for aligning your design to an actual photograph. It works out really well that way. But let's just say we throw that on here. Okay, and then we can either keep that original or just get rid of it, since now we've got that all laid out. Select all of that and give it a new color. Let's just go with rainbow. Now the rock pitching, it doesn't automatically fit that skew, so we'd have to edit that manually a little bit to skew it down and get it to the right angle there. But in future versions, I hope to be able to automate that a little bit further. And then the same thing before that we had done, where the polish and the polish meet each other. I think it's easy to, well, in this case we can just go ahead and take that and duplicate it, and then we'll just apply a shadow to that. But that's pretty easy to get that laid out, and then we can add in some text to say companion monuments and change that text to however we want it to look. If we wanted to, we could add in backgrounds, we could do the drop shadows or whatever that we wanted to do to make it look a little bit nicer. But this way you'd have a divider section for each of your different sections, and you'd be able to lay out a nice book this way. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this video.